Alright everyone, it's moral panic time yet again. A dog whistle for more tech censorship as soccer moms are now worried that their kids are magically getting Tourette syndrome as the result of TikTok videos. Because there are people, I guess, with Tourette syndrome or who do the ticky thing on TikTok, and this is somehow a transmissible disease now. See, they haven't quite thought out this moral panic. I know what they're doing. They're trying to censor the internet more. This is the case every time they do this. Now, TikTok, to be clear, I don't use it. I wouldn't want to use it. It is a Chinese spyware app that is massively botted. The Chinese government probably bots it personally. And so if you think that the numbers, the viewership totals and stuff you're getting on there, like if you're using TikTok, if you think that that boils down to actual clout, I hate to tell you, but I've got some inside knowledge from an unnamed source. Yeah, you might want to rethink your investment into TikTok time. That being said, no, TikTok is not causing Tourette syndrome, and the underlying premise is laughably false. I'll explain why, but first and foremost, keep in mind, if you're watching this video on YouTube, down below there will be a pinned comment with links to 4 other video hosting sites that I use. I make 2 exclusive videos a day there. They don't end up on YouTube, so consider joining me on one or more of those platforms. Now, here's why this doesn't make sense. The premise is that your daughter, little Jimmy or little Sally, is watching TikTok users that have Tourette syndrome. Apparently that's like a subculture there. Sort of like YouTube has a bunch of videos of people flushing toilets. There are literally hundreds of channels dedicated to it. There are people with like Kohler catalogs from the 30s, and they will spend half an hour reading through it and just talking about toilets. This is actually a thing. It's like a little subcultural phenomenon. Here's the problem. Videos depicting people with Tourette syndrome, with tics of various types, haven't they already been online? Why did this never become an issue because of YouTube or Facebook video? Or what if you're talking about, well, it's because these videos are hyper short, the attention span is lowering, people are getting all spastic. Have you ever heard of Vine? That was around for a while. That was fairly popular with quite a large crowd, and for some reason they shut it down even though it was, I think, solvent, so it didn't really make sense. Literally leading to TikTok being developed, again, partially by the Chinese government that uses it to push propaganda, that bots the hell out of it in order to get investment, therefore money. If you can fake it really good, like they do with their COVID death totals, you can get a lot of money, you can get a lot of clout without actually offering anything. I guarantee you more than half your viewership on TikTok's not even real people. I hate to tell you this, but a significant proportion of that's not real. Otherwise, because of the fact that the youth demographic hadn't entered into the tech sphere, it was already there, you would expect to see a subsequent massive decline in some other platforms. But other than Facebook, the teenies are still using Instagram and Snapchat and all these other sites. They are not reporting massive losses in time usage. So exactly how are there more than 24 hours in a day? These people all of a sudden are using this particular app potentially for hours each day, and yet there's no subsequent decline elsewhere. I don't think that TikTok managed to overhaul Western society to the point of a mass lifestyle change, so I'm figuring their numbers are fucky. That being said, there's plenty to complain about with TikTok. Man, many other comparable sites. Old tech in general is hyper-censored. TikTok, although U.S. political speech there is less censored than even on YouTube now, you can't talk about Tiananmen Square. You can't call for Tibetan independence. You'll notice it's basically the same thing, only it's not your particular sphere of the world that they're concerned about interiorly, like in the geopolitical sense. So the censorship's still there. It's just you may notice it less if you have certain political views. So TikTok is basically useless, but it is absolutely not causing Tourette syndrome. Tourette syndrome is not, you don't develop it by watching videos. You don't develop a nervous tic by seeing someone with a nervous tic. It is not a communicable disease. This is like when elementary school kids, like they have a classmate with like lupus or something, and they're like, oh my god, no, I don't want to catch the lupus, and they don't understand the nature of it. The soccer moms that are worried that TikTok Tourette's is going to be a thing don't understand Tourette syndrome. That's number one. They don't understand the internet, apparently, number two, because the videos were already fucking there. Like people with Tourette syndrome never made videos before the advent of TikTok. And now your teenage daughter's got a verbal tic. Oh my God. Well, number one, who cares? Number two, it's probably psychosomatic in nature. It's not that they've developed Tourette syndrome from watching videos. They're emulating someone. It would be like if someone decided to grow out their hair long and wear a leather jacket with no shirt underneath it because they watch my fucking videos. Or they decide to chop off their cock and get fat and greasy and have a neck beard because they're watching, communists on YouTube. Well, that's just emulation. They might copy a tic. I love this fashion channel. And she can't stop saying fuck because she's got Tourette's syndrome, which is kind of a stereotype. I realize that Tourette's is more physical and verbal tics that are not swearing, although that does happen. But that's emulation. They didn't communicate a disease to the audience. No, someone in the audience decided to start saying fuck because they thought it was cool. By the way, the last generation did this as well, and the generation before that. Every generation, you have a handful of people that make the trends, and then you have a bunch of people that click around them, and they follow those trends, and it's just sort of a thing. So what the fuck are you worried about? This is just a dog whistle for censorship. This is another think of the children moment. Now, if you want to think of the children, and you're worried about TikTok, worry about the fact that they're being exposed to literal Chinese state propaganda, including the critical race theory, social justice warrior bullshit thing, because China wants to weaken Western civilization. They openly promote CRT in government edifices and U.S. businesses through literal state-funded propaganda. That's what you should be worried about. Yes, you should probably monitor their TikTok usage, but if you're worried about them meeting Chester the Molester, getting Tourette syndrome, eating Tide Pods, okay, that's a millennial thing. I know millennials aren't into the TikTok as much as the YouTube. We've already been through this, haven't we? We've been through this every fucking goddamn generation. Especially since tech has become a thing. It used to be, if your kid gives out their name online, then a white van's going to show up and the Chinese mafia is going to sell them into slavery. Then it was they're going to do dope, they're going to smoke bleach, they're going to make naked videos themselves. They're going to do everything weird under the sun because apparently nobody's kid has any common sense. Most of them have a little bit. And by the way, they'd have a lot more if you didn't just stick them in school and use it as a daycare. If you taught them common sense and critical thinking when they're a kid, 99% of these fucking problems could be avoided. Hey, maybe, 5 years ago, maybe I shouldn't smoke the Tide Pod. Oh, all these other kids are doing it. I think that they look stupid. Instead of, oh man, that's pretty cool. That's rad. Yeah, Joe, bring me the devil bong. I'm going to smoke one up. And they fucking end up with lung cancer or something. It's called parenting. It's got stop dog whistling to the government. Please regulate these sites more. Oh my God, Facebook turned little Jimmy into a communist. YouTube turned him into a Nazi. So now he's a Nazbol. That's horseshit. It's moral panic nonsense. You can't get Tourette syndrome from watching YouTube videos. So how could you get it from watching TikTok videos? Like, there's no short form videos on YouTube that depict people with some quirk or another. Dude, there's a whole fucking community. All of YouTube is built by quirkiness. They're trying to sanitize the platform and kick all of us weirdos off now in order to become Netflix 2.0, but we built the platform. Weirdos. People who dressed funny, spoke funny, talked about funny things, or did disgraceful shit like, Tourette's guy or bum fights. That's what built the site. Magically, the millennial generation, by and large, most of them kind of have it going on. Most of us didn't smoke Tide Pods. Most of us didn't become, transgendered strippers or weird shit like that. No, it's just not a thing. Nice moral panic you got there. Too bad if somebody were to dispel it completely. Now, you don't have to worry about TikTok for that reason. You should worry about the propaganda, the pervasive propaganda with regards to Tiananmen Square, Taiwan, Falun Gong, Orvist harvesting, and everything else that goes on in China. That's about all. Peace out.